Exciting news to start your Friday afternoon as no deal by congressional leaders on a budget bill and a stimulus check. No deal. And the people negotiating the deal is no less than 4 people. So they can't agree upon anything. This is not Congress. This is not hundreds of people. This is 4 people. They can't agree upon anything. After they would potentially agree upon something, then they would give it to Congress to look at. But guess what? Congress is shouting loud and mad that they haven't seen anything and heard the negotiations for 5 days. They have no idea what's going on. They know as much as you and I do. They say they're tuning into me to know what's going on. They don't know what's going on. No deal. Don't know what the deal is. Don't know what's going on. It's like a Happy Meal, but it's not very happy. It's like Howie Mandel, but there's no box with the plexiglass to smash. As you sit here today, what's going on? Well, Bernie Sanders has called for a $1,200 bill. $1,200 check. Josh Hawley has called for a $1,200 check. The President of the United States has called for a $2,000 check. AOC, Elizabeth Warren, other people call for $1,200 checks. Millions and millions of Americans are tweeting Ron Johnson today, the evil personified senator from Minnesota, saying, you know what you said about our $1,200 check? We don't like you. The message is very clear. No one likes anything less than $1,200 stimulus check. So what's going to happen? Your bet is as good as mine, but as we're sitting here today, hashtag Senate vote no, House vote no, and Trump vote no is working very well because they have no deal and they're going backwards, not forwards. You're holding them up, and that's the spirit of the purple power. As you sit here today, the government is shutting down tonight because they can't get you a $1,200 stimulus check. And when they do, the government will operate once again. This is a great afternoon recording of Afternoons LALATE. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Afternoons LA, direct from Los Angeles. I hope you're good and safe. You know, I've been going live, going live. But this is a taped recording done shortly after Bernie Sanders' remarks about the $1,200 stimulus check, Josh's remarks about the $1,200 stimulus check. And I have all the details and nuances and what's going on. So please like and subscribe to this channel. First, go and subscribe to this channel because despite what's going on with Bernie and Josh and Ron and all those wonderful people in Congress, I'm getting you money right now. Not 5 days from now, not 5 weeks from now, not 5 months from now. And the viewers of the channel understand that the big money that you can get right now is not that stimulus check from Congress. It's the stimulus that's available locally. I call it stimulus because it's basically free money. Free money for rent, free money for utilities, free money for food, free money for gifts. This is available for nonprofits from the state, from the city, the county. Wherever you live, there is something available. I'm going to say that again. Wherever you live, there is something available, and it's not a few $100s. It's thousands of dollars. I'm getting viewers $5, $10, $15, $20,000 of money right now, and this is money that ensures that you stay in your home. Your entire holiday is in a very good situation, getting thousands and thousands of dollars. And ultimately, what you're seeing in Congress doesn't take as much of an impact on your life because you're now more stable because of the help of this channel. So please subscribe. This is the spirit of the purple power with 15 volunteers that can help you around the clock. Also, like this video. In this video, I'll be going over what happened today with Josh earlier today, then what happened with Bernie minutes ago, what will happen tonight, and then what will happen this weekend. Do you want me to predict what's going to happen Monday? Well, the one thing you can absolutely predict is someone's going to be very pissed off she cannot take her private jet home tonight to have that wonderful $1,200 ice cream. No, $12 ice cream, actually. A lot of breaking developments across the board, and because there's so much in this recording, a lot of details, let me get to the breaking news. The breaking news as you sit here today is that Bernie Sanders minutes ago spoke on the Senate floor, calling for a vote for a $1,200 stimulus check. It was then objected to by evil personified, Hades' tour director, Satan's best friend, Ron Johnson. Now, Ron Johnson's the guy that got COVID and then caused the entire Senate floor to be closed because he wouldn't wear a mask. And then, wouldn't reopen it, but certainly walk the halls still with no mask on. He's just a charming guy, isn't he? So Ron Johnson objected to Bernie Sanders. Earlier today, Josh Hawley called for a vote on the $1,200 stimulus check. Johnson did the same thing. Throughout the much of the afternoon, Ron Johnson has been trending nationally for the first time perhaps ever in his life with the messaging that he's just, Satan, as Dana Carvey would say, Satan's best friend. And there he is. So what does this mean for you? Where are we going? What's going on? What's happening? There are 4 people, ostensibly, in a private room chatting about this bill. There is no bill. Chatting about what they would do in a potential bill. Those 4 people are telling no one about what's going on. Josh Hawley today on the Senate floor said, you know what? This is ridiculous. You want us to agree to something? I'm not going to agree to anything. I don't know what's going on. You're not telling me anything. I'm learning everything from broadcast news and, LALATE. But, he couldn't say LALATE because it's sort of like anyway. He said, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. You're not going to agree to anything. And that is certainly the messaging from other congressional leaders. They have no idea what this flock of 4 secret society people are talking about behind closed doors. What we do know is that they are going from a potential deal to further away to no deal. There were several problems yesterday, and there's more problems today. Stimulus check of $1,200 is the number one problem. The number one problem because the progressives are having problems with it, the White House is having problems with it, the independents are having problems with it, and that no one has really seen anything. As you sit here today on a Friday afternoon, no one knows what the number of the stimulus check is in their proposal. We don't really know. It's not $600. We just don't know. The reports say $600 to $700, maybe more. They won't tell you. They're intentionally not telling you because they don't want you to know. They're withholding the number on purpose so you don't have any idea what the number is. However, White House is not playing that game. Donald Trump last night said, you know what, I'm hearing that they're trying to do $600. I'm going to make it very clear. I want $1,200 to $2,000, and I'm going to step in and do something. He was told to silence it down, but Josh Hawley, who speaks with the president routinely, says, I'm not going to be silenced down. I'm not going to have someone tell me what to do. You're going to do $1,200 or more, or else. So is that else going to happen? This is the million-dollar question. Is Bernie Sanders and Josh Hawley and others going to block any potential bill, of which there is still none, when it lands in the Senate? Today, they said they likely would. That moment is not upon us. So where are we? Well, those 4 people are behind closed doors, and they're chatting about, ice cream and how they can't have their lobster. And they're going over the deal terms. In dealing with those deal terms, they're falling apart. They're going from bad to worse by the minute because apparently Republicans are trying to put a language in there that doesn't help Biden, that hurts Biden. Maxine Waters, Maxine Waters only gets involved when she sees something going bad. So Maxine Waters heard about this and just had a tirade and just sort of, what are you doing? I see what you're trying to sneak around. It's basically, there's an old game when you're trying to write something up, you slide in bad language into the thing you write up. Well, that's what the Republicans are being accused of today. Sliding in really bad language that really sets up Biden for trouble. And Maxine Waters just had a cow. What does that mean? That means it means government shutdown. It means stimulus check or shutdown. So what's going to happen tonight? Government will shut down. 12 o'clock tonight, the government will shut down. What will happen throughout the afternoon today? You will have broadcast news using their best dramatic music with the drums and the breaking news, the government is shut down. They can do all that. But the bottom line is this has nothing to do with you financially. There is nothing happen to you financially between today and tomorrow. And all of your benefits, all the things that we talk about on this channel, nothing will be changed between today and tomorrow. But broadcast news is going to run their most dramatic music that they have in stock files to make it sound like this is a scary moment in the U.S. history. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. Your PUA expires in late December. It doesn't expire tomorrow. Your FPUC expires in July. It doesn't expire tomorrow. Your eviction moratorium and mortgage forbearance expires in late December. It does not expire tomorrow. But the broadcast news will make it sound like there's something really horrible happening with this government shutdown tonight. They've actually started I've seen some of the dramatic music. It's really corny. It's like 1980s music, but that's what you're trying to do. So don't get a high alarm when you see that type of breaking news alert music coming across your screen. what will happen over the weekend then? Well, over the weekend, they are staying in town, which is like Nancy Pelosi's worst nightmare. Not being able to take that plane back on a Thursday afternoon, on a Wednesday afternoon, because, she does not work Thursdays and she does not work Fridays. She works Monday through Wednesday. She doesn't work weekends, let alone Fridays. So she has to stay in town, which is really her worst nightmare ever. They're staying in town to work, which means ostensibly the following. 4 people are behind closed doors chatting about something, and everyone else is like, what are they talking about? They won't tell us. What are they talking about? How much is the stimulus check? They won't tell us. That's basically what's going to go on. And at some point, they're going to open the door like the heavens have opened wide. And they'll be like, here we go. Here's the 7th coming. Enjoy. Have a dinner. It's like, what is this thing? And then you're going to look at it. And at that point, Nancy Pelosi presumably, but we really don't know, she may get backlash still, presumably will put it to the Senate, to the House floor for a vote. When that will happen, that could be Saturday, it could be Monday, it could be Tuesday. This is not going so well for them. They're just not getting it together. And it's because of you. Hashtag Senate vote no. Hashtag House vote no. Hashtag Trump vote no. The messaging is getting very loud and clear. The president says he has seen the tweets that millions of Americans are pissed that someone would actually give them a watered-down stimulus check. Today, the number 3 thing trending online was Ron Johnson because of what the horrible things he said. He basically said that the first stimulus check was one of the worst days in U.S. history, that the first stimulus check was given to lazy people who were not entitled to a stimulus check, that the first stimulus check was paid to people who don't need assistance, that people on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and Railroad benefits don't need these things. Ultimately, I don't want to say too much of what the devil talks about because it makes people very upset and very angry. But I do want to inform you what his argument was. No one was embracing him. Rather, social media is trashing him brutally today. Brutally. He's trending number 2 and number 3 across the board today. And that shows why people want a $1,200 stimulus check. Hashtag Senate vote no. Hashtag House vote no. This channel was trending number 1 on Wednesday night because of those hashtags. And I have no idea. It could be upwards of 100,000 tweets we've now had because of Senate vote no, House vote no, and the new one, which is Trump vote no. The Trump vote no is a hashtag to refer to setting the president up to send a message, communicating the president to send a message that unless there's a $1,200 stimulus check, I'm vetoing you folks. The president yesterday said, I'm not happy with this and I want $1,200 to $2,000. Well, there's viewers that asked me, why doesn't he do executive order? The easiest way he does this is just send a message. I'm going to veto you. I'm going to veto you unless there's a $1,200 stimulus check. And at that point, the Senate needs a certain number of votes to be in favor of any bill to be prepared to override a White House veto. And if Bernie and Josh and Elizabeth and the others keep this up, there won't be a unanimous vote in favor of a non-$1,200 stimulus check if that's what happens. And the president will be ready to veto it. So that's why hashtag House vote no is a message to the U.S. progressives in the House of Representatives who originally had written a letter saying that they would oppose on anything unless there's a stimulus check in there, but has since been sort of quiet about the subject matter, seemingly embracing a watered-down stimulus check. Hard to say. You need to tag them. AOC in the House, initially slamming the lack of a stimulus check and now being quiet about the situation. Hashtag Senate House vote no is to attempt to get the House to vote against it. It's a long reach because generally the House people follow Nancy. But when it lands in the Senate, that's an open field. There were Republicans and Democrats, independents and moderates, all sort of aligning together to do $1,200. And for the first time, you're seeing people that are completely on the other side of the political spectrum agreeing to a $1,200 stimulus check. And then you have crazy people like Ron Johnson. So with that, where are we? Well, the stimulus check that would the stimulus check at play is paired with other provisions of a bill that has not been written, with proposals that include the proposals of this channel, $1,200. 4 people will continue to talk throughout the day. Mitch McConnell will continue to use adjectives like imminent and around the corner and coming up close and pretty soon and pretty close and pretty near and pretty things like that. you will have further push for $1,200. Chuck Schumer voted in favor of Bernie Sanders at $1,200 today, saying $1,200 needs to be done. The push of the Democrats for $1,200 has not been as loud as it should and could heat up relatively quickly. The issue is, though, how many other provisions in this proposals are bad. One of the worst is the FPUC. They want to give you FPUC going forward for about 16 to 11 weeks, but not retroactive. They want to get rid of 20-something weeks of FPUC you're owed retroactive since July. I mean, that's an insane amount of money. You know, at $400 a week, which is Steve Mnuchin offered during the summer, $400 a week over 20 weeks, that's, you know, actually it's 30 weeks now. I guess it's 400. That's $12,000. 30 weeks at $300, which is what Mitchell offered during the summer. That's $9,000. And so now they want to go forward on it and not pay it retro. It's insane. The good news across the board is that there was talk about eviction moratorium and mortgage forbearance today. The question is whether they get it in there. They're presumably going to get in there. Extension of PUA and UI, that's an easy one. That will be in there. Your UI and PUA will get extended. So that's potentially protected. But the demonization, the disparagement, and the disgusting remarks that are being made about anyone who needs a stimulus check is really quite horrible. They're basically saying that people on the SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and railroad benefits, people who are veterans who served 5 tours of duty for the U.S. government, for this country, and now are retired, people who worked 30, 40 years of their life and raised 2 kids as a single mom and are now senior citizens and retired. You don't need a stimulus check because you weren't employed. Excuse me? It's that type of narrative that's not working. And with that, there we are. Meantime, states are doing their best to clean up this mess. State stimulus across the board continues to heat up. There is state stimulus checks, state rent stimulus, state food stimulus, and state utility stimulus. The messaging that I'm trying to really impart to viewers today, because there's new viewers that subscribe to this channel. If you've not subscribed, please go to the front channel and do. There's new subscribers around the corner every day. And the message that I'm trying to make very clear to you is that I don't want you to focus on a state or local stimulus check. I want you to focus on rent stimulus, because rent stimulus is thousands and thousands of dollars. It's $4, $5, $10, $15,000. It's a lot of money that's being paid to the viewers of this channel. That's the first thing I wanted to focus you on. The second one is that money is not available indefinitely. The third, and this is the hardest message I've had getting across in the last few days that I've noticed it, is that some viewers have done what I've told them to initially do, which is contact your local government to look where it is, got a no answer, and then stopped. Even though I've made countless recordings, dozens and dozens of recordings saying there's nonprofits that are paying rent for viewers. So I've had viewers in some of the live chats say there's nothing in Ohio, there's nothing in Kentucky, there's nothing in Massachusetts, there's nothing here. Yeah, there is. Viewers have gotten $5, $10, $15,000. There's another step you got to do. So let me explain the steps. First, when we're talking about rent stimulus, let's start with the government first before we get to the nonprofits. The government. You go to your city hall, your county housing authority, your city housing authority, then you go up higher, your state housing authority, and your state or offices. Generally, it's often found in housing departments. For example, there's nothing in LA County. There's nothing in California. But one viewer tuned in from San Bernardino, got it from San Bernardino Housing Authority, a county housing authority department. Alabama viewers have gotten money not from their city or county, but from the state Alabama Housing Authority. They've gotten from the Louisiana Housing Authority. So you see sort of how things are sometimes confusing. Next, there have been rent programs that have been announced with very big fanfare and massive coverage on this channel. I mean, I covered, 3-4 times a day. A lot of them are dissipating or going away. There was one for County of San Diego, gone now. I did that for over 2 weeks, gone now. There was one for City of Houston. I don't know the outcome of that, if that's gone. There was one for City of Nashville announced last week. There was one for Harrisburg announced last week. There was one for Atlanta and one for New York and New York State and counties across Atlanta, across Georgia, future, like Gwyneth and DeKalb. I've always told viewers around December 15th, you're going to see these things sort of dissipate because this is CARES Act 1 money given to the federal government, to the states and cities to use or lose. Remember that? That money's not going to be there to January 1st. It's around now that they're going to use up the money and it's going to be gone. And that's why you see places like Orange in Florida that had done a round of stimulus checks, not round, but checks, did one, close it down, did another one, close it down, and did one 2 days ago on the 17th or yesterday, and then that was closed down. They're doing these things at the last second, so these things are not going to be around forever. But if you're one of those viewers like, I looked there, I don't see it, so where is it? This is the good news. If you don't see in your city, county, or state, it may be with private organizations. On Purple, which comes up right after this video, I go over some of those organizations and who are those organizations, what states they're paying the money in, where they're paying rent. Of course, the other big issue is utilities. Utilities are being paid by calling up the utility companies. You ask for utility assistance or rent assistance. The key words when looking for these things is rent assistance or utility assistance. And ultimately, the important thing to understand is that when you're talking about rent, there's a series of organizations that have been paying rent across different states for viewers of this channel. Viewers have gotten rent paid by United Way, Salvation Army, Catholic Charities, St. Vincent de Paul, and Community Action. Those are among the organizations you should consider for perhaps where you're located. I'll have more about those organizations in the video right after this. Purple. Then join me following that with a live recording of Being a Mitch. That'll be the first live recording of the afternoon since I went live this morning at noontime with Holidays LA. As always, go to the front of the channel, subscribe. Also like this video. Stay informed, stay focused, stay smiling, and stay LA for more.